I finally won my second RCQ of the season, and I wanted to give you guys my sort of full tournament report. I say second because there are 2 RCs in the United States this season, so you need to qualify twice, win 2 RCQs to be able to play in both. One is in Portland, Oregon. One is in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'll be playing in both of them now that I've won 2 RCQs. I was playing this Boros Energy deck, which is really close to stock. I think the only thing I'm doing that's a little far away from stock is I really, really like the 4 One Rings. I'm not 100% sure on sideboard card choices as well. One of my homies let me borrow 2 Fearfire Foes that I really, really needed. That actually, it didn't come up at all throughout the tournament, but I really appreciate you. You know who you are. I haven't asked if it's okay if I use your name yet, so I'm not going to, but I thank you so much. But it's just the best deck. I feel like Modern has become you need a reason not to play this deck. There are reasons not to play the deck. But you need one. The deck's just so good. I mean, Belcher's pretty good too, but it only because it beats this deck. That being said, my friend Zach, who has said I can say his name on here, had to work that day. He dropped by early to drop some cards off to a friend of ours. However, there was a crazy windstorm going on that day that knocked out power to a lot of businesses in the area. Not the card shop, luckily. But the business he works at lost power. So he hung out for a lot of round 1, maybe all of round 1. I can't really remember because he didn't have to go into work yet. Unfortunately, he decided not to play the tournament, which is probably a good thing because he was called into work after round 1 because power came back on. So that was lame. So I didn't really get to hang out with my best friend at the tournament. And that made me really sad, but we still jammed. And he does come back during the finals, or semifinals, finals, quarterfinals, top 8 at some point, and was able to see me win, and I was able to have his support there, so that was pretty cool. That being said, let's jump into the actual tournament report. Round 1, I played against Goro's Vengeance. From what I remember from this game is he was able to hit an Atraxa off a Servile land and then just Goro'd it, and I just no world I could ever come back from that. And then game 2 and 3, his deck didn't really function, and I just kind of killed him, so 1-0. Round 2, I played the Boros Energy Mirror. I lost game 1, it was a blowout. I won game 2, it was a blowout. I lost game 3, it was a blowout. We actually were laughing afterward that we've actually played this mirror a few times and have played against each other quite a bit. And we can just never have a good game. It's just neither of us gets to play Magic. It's so silly, but we're 1-1. Round 3, I get paired against Jeskai Control, and I get an early One Ring both games, and it just ends up not being fair. Game 2, I think that he even got stuck on land, which was really rough, but we're 2-1. And then I got paired up to an undefeated on Blue-White Hammer. Game 1, it actually looked like I was going to lose, but I had a really, really big turn. I had an Ajani flipped already and a Goblin Bombardment, and I drew an Ajani for turn and was able to kill an Ornithopter with a hammer and a Shadow Spear on it by shooting the Ajani at it, Goblin Bombardment at it, flip the second Ajani, shoot an Ajani at it. It was nuts. It was a really, really convoluted turn that ended up wiping his board and putting me really far ahead. And then game 2 wasn't particularly close. Round 5, I got paired up again to an undefeated, where we ID'd into top 8. In top 8, I got paired up against Affinity. And to be totally honest, his deck didn't really function too well. He had slow starts both games, drew a bunch of cards off Thoughtcasts, and the aggro just kind of got to him. But then we were on to top 4, where I played against my friend that let me borrow the Fearfire Foes. They were also on Boros Energy. Luckily, I didn't have to beat him with his own card. But both games were actually really, really nuts because my opponent was violently winning both games. And then I would just have one giant turn and turn the corner. That's kind of conducive of how Modern is, and especially the Boros Mirror is, but it was really weird. Literally during both games, you could have walked over during most turns and be yeah, Ryan's not winning. No world Ryan wins. And then you just have a giant turn, normally after the One Ring turn or whatever. But it's just so weird. And it feels great when you're winning. Does not feel good when you're on the other side. You kind of get deflated because you feel like you're literally about to win. But we're in the finals. I also forgot to mention at some point before top 8, it might have been before round 4, I was having a hard time breathing. I'm getting over a cold and I have allergies and stuff like that. I asked if anybody had any allergy medicine, and my homie had first aid kit with some Dayquil in it, which actually helped me a lot, and I could breathe so much better. I forgot my inhaler. So thank you. I haven't asked you if it's okay if I use your name yet. But thank you. You know who you are. But anyway, we're on to the finals, which was the rematch from my loss in Swiss. I was swiftly dispatched in game 1. In game 2, I kept a pretty controlling hand. And I don't remember a lot of what happened in game 2, but we won. But then in game 3, it was really weird. I stopped his initial aggro and had a One Ring and was drawing an insane amount of cards off of that One Ring. And I gained a bunch of life and, off of Guide of Souls triggers and stuff like that. But I have a One Ring and I'm like drawing 4 cards off of One Ring. And I look at my hand and it's literally all lands and like the Gigantha that I bought. And I'm like, oh my God, I've drawn so many extra cards. I'm talking like between 12 and 15 extra cards. I'm like, I'm going to lose the game. What is happening to me? Like I'm in the finals, like, holy moly. And I have like 12 lands on the battlefield. Like what's going on? And I'm just like only barely surviving every turn. I also had a funny moment where my opponent played what is that card called? Screaming something. My opponent played Screaming Nemesis against me, which he was playing in the sideboard. And I picked it up to read it. And someone went, like 8 people that were watching were like, ooh, someone's got to be a reader or something like that. And I looked back and was like, F you guys. Except I didn't say F. It's a new card, okay? That sounded a lot cooler in my head. I'm sorry you had to listen to that. In game 3, I'm drawing so many cards and I'm getting like, are you joking? And I vocalize like, could a Flage be in the top half of my deck? Are you joking, dude? And then the next turn I drew it for turn. So I played the Flage, killed the thing, hasted it back, killed some more things, jammed, and that got me in the game and my opponent conceded the next turn and I won, which was awesome. We redistributed price support in the finals. Can't talk. Oh my God. So I got my entry fee back and I got the qualification. Went out and gave the store owner my information. Thanked the store owner for running it. By the way, it was done at Northeast Collectibles in Bangor, Maine. You should check them out. They're awesome. I love the people that run it. It's great. It's a great store. And I went home. It was kind of cool. After I went home, I played in the qualifier weekend play-in. I had a sweet deck. Here's what it was. That night, 6-0'd in the process. Got paired against my homie who had to work that day that I mentioned. I beat him. I also was able to get some sweet BM in and an early good game. My opponent then board wiped me, and then I just played Noculus. So I was able to tilt him, which is great. By 6-0'd, so I qualified for qualifier weekend in the same day that I won the RCQ. And then what makes it even better, my friend that I beat in the finals that beat me in Swiss, the next day played in an RCQ and flawless victory, meaning he 2-0'd literally everybody all the way through, which like is impressive at any level. Like that's so second one day into flawless victory, win the RCQ the next day. Like that is awesome. And I didn't have to play in the RCQ because I was already qualified for both, but just like a really good weekend. I hope you guys like stories like this. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social media. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.